right, in this video today, we're going to be taking a look at what's going on in the equity markets. We're going to see what exactly this sell-off means. Look at the S&P down 3.7%. We're looking at the NASDAQ down 6%. We're going to take a look at it all. We're going to say what is the significance of this sell-off, what it means for us, how we should position ourselves. We're also going to take a look at the dollar, the US dollar, as at a very important juncture. And we're going to put ourselves on the right side of the trade. We're going to look at that and more as we get started in today's episode. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. I'm glad that you're here today. All right, let's start this off with the S&P 500. You could see the markets. Some people are calling it a meltdown, right? Now, we've been calling this a melt up. Appropriately so. This was nothing more than a reversion to the mean. The market had gotten ahead of itself. By the way, yesterday's update in the afternoon, we talked about how this could be a possible game changer, right? Price was currently price at that time was trading up here. And I said, if we clear this trend line resistance here and flip that into support, that will be very bullish and a game changer. But what happened? I said the next 24 hours were very important. Remember that? In yesterday's update, it's on the video. I said the next 24 hours are very important. Now, we never confirmed that. We never resumed that off making higher highs. Nevertheless, we have, within the next 24 hours, reverted all the way back. That's a reversion to the mean. That's not a crash. Everyone gets a little bit sensational, right? We knew that everything was all askew. It didn't make sense. Price never goes up forever. And now we've had a reversion to the mean, which means there's going to be a lot more opportunity now where there wasn't. For those of you that have been paying attention, as we came into this resistance over here, it's now support. I said, all right, we're getting towards the end of some of here. It makes sense to get neutral now. The risk to reward is no longer there on the markets. Right? And then since we went up almost 8%, I said, wow, that really got away from me. But here we are right back down now. The risk to reward was not there. Is it there yet? Is this a place that you should now be looking to lean in? No, it's too soon. Give it some time. Let's follow what's going on over the next few days together. And we will look for where an appropriate time for when the market starts developing, where it is time to get long again. And it will be. It will present itself. But right now, we are seeing a sell-off today. Appropriately so, right? Is now the time to jump in? For what reason? That seems really risky to me. We're looking for high probability setups. Trying to catch a falling knife is not a high probability setup. Let's look at some levels. Let's look at some levels right now. We have this trend line over here, which is a decent level. You could see over here it was support. This was resistance for a while, and then going back to this area over here. But what I'm looking at is it does coincide with some local support over here in that area over there. Do I think that's that's a place that I want to lean into? No, it's really not. Tomorrow's non-farm payrolls, let's see how the market reacts to that. Let's wait till next week and wait until the market gives a clear signal, and then it might be time to enter the market. But right now is not the time to try to take some risks. There are no indications of any type of bounce and or resumption that would give you any type of edge of getting into the market right now. So right now, sidelines continues to be the best position, and it's a good position. As we consolidate, after we finally start to consolidate, we'll see. We'll see whether or not we get any type of indication that we're going to make another leg down, maybe come back down into this strong support here at 33.39, 33.40, right? Maybe into this prime trend line. Maybe the two of them will be meeting at the time, right? And then we'll see if we have a resumption off of it. Let's let price consolidate, and then let's wait for an edge. Let's wait for something to develop before we start getting involved here. It's simply too soon. Let's look at some levels on the NASDAQ. I added these trend lines to the NASDAQ, inspired by Rex in the Conquering the Markets trading group over here. He went and showed me. He added the lines that we use, right, on the S&P, and he cloned them And I went ahead and added them in here now to give us some areas to watch. You could see right now over here, right? This is where we're finding a little bit of support. Do I want to buy just because we've come down into some support? Absolutely not. It's too volatile right now. Give it some time. Everyone's in a rush. If you're in a rush to make money, you're going to be losing money. This is not a time to be entering the market. Sit on the sidelines. Let's observe. Let's wait until it's time to attack. And right now is not the time to attack, right? Down over here, is that more attractive? This trend line coming in over here as support. I mean, again, it's a level, but it's not really too solid, right? What about down over here? Obviously, the horizontal support is nice over down at 11, 12, 28. We still got a ways to go. So let's take a look at the dollar right now. The dollar is at a very critical level. We could be seeing a breakout of this channel. We have to watch. The dollar is consolidating, right? It's getting ready for a big move. That big move could be a counter trend move upwards, at which point we'll be tracking where we could find some resistance to see if it's rejected and resume back towards the trend. Or we might break down towards the bottom. Right now, we're at a very critical juncture as we have broken this trend line over here, right? The first time since the end of June. And we're actually caught up between the channel, upper resistance, and that trend line now providing support, consolidating here. We could break out, and that would be a counter trend move. Or we could continue back down towards the end of the channel. Tomorrow's non-farm payroll. Probably we don't see any type of major break one way or the other. Until then, we'll be tracking it and watching it. It's important to have that game plan. Obviously, this is going to be a shorter update than normal. And the reason for that, all I want everyone to realize is a couple of things. First of all, right, this is when I got neutral, when the risk to reward was no longer there. And look at this, right? This was a melt up. We've had a reversion to the mean. Is this a sell-off? Yeah. Is it a meltdown? Well, I mean, we've been calling this a melt up, right? I call it a reversion to the mean. It's actually healthy. It's actually very healthy. As everyone has seen, the VIX has been rising and rising and continues to rise. Now, some people are saying that means that it's the end of a move. Maybe. But anyone trying to call the end of a move right here is picking a top. That makes no sense. This type of volatility was to be expected. There's no surprises here. Neutral observing remains the best position. It's too early to read into this anything more than what it is. Remember the last time we got back towards this upper trend line over here, that was back in the beginning of June, and we saw that big sell-off. Was this the time to buy? No. Here we go. This is when we all leaned in. This is when I said, now's the time to lean off and buy. And sure enough, and ever since, we've continued that trend, holding our prime trend line. And as long as price remains above it, the bullish structure remains very well firmly in place in the market. People felt like they were missing out. FOMOing in is very dangerous. So this type of pullback that we saw today is nothing more than a pullback. Very healthy. It actually offers now opportunity, but it's too soon to be looking to take advantage of that opportunity. Give the market some more time to play out. Let's wait until we have a solid, high probability setup, and then we'll be looking to get involved and attack. This is nice because this provides opportunity. We did this morning, the first hour of the live stream was an absolute masterclass. Instead of going on today, I prefer you watch that. It talks very, very clearly what's going on in Bitcoin, the levels you should be looking at. It gives a beautiful overview of the US dollar, gold, silver, and then into FX. It's an absolute masterclass. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and watch that video. And if you're able to join us tomorrow morning, I look forward to seeing you then.